This doesn't look too good. I'm hoping it's solid enough out there. Well, welcome back everyone to the life of an outdoorsman. We are planning to do some ice fishing today for pike, and surprisingly enough, it is 20 degrees out right now, Celsius. Like, it is almost t-shirt weather. I'm actually sweating in this sweater right now. Kind of gross, but anyhow. We are trying to get on the ice one last time. Yes, I say one last time because this is actually the end of the ice fishing season.
Wow, I'm talking to the future.
In 2021, you're probably seeing this in the fall, getting ready for ice fishing season in 2021. But in any case, this is what I'm attempting to do, because there still should be ice. There still should be ice out on this pond. I'm really hoping so. I kind of had to come at it a different way because the road's closed to get in here, but whatever. Neither here nor there. I only got about an hour of sunlight, or hour and a half of sunlight, so we'll do our best and see if we can get on some pike. Stay tuned. I'm hoping it's solid enough. Out there's water on top of the ice, but I'm hoping the ice itself is solid enough to go out on. We're going to be testing it. We're going to be testing this very frequently as we go out, and if it's not even safe at the edge, well, the edge is the first part that melts when the ice leaves, but basically if it's not safe enough on the edge, obviously I won't be able to out on the ice. So we'll do our best and see if we can get out there. All right. One of the cool things is if I go through, it'll be on camera. So get rid of any extra stuff I don't need here. That I don't want getting wet if I do. At the edges of this pond, it's not like terribly deep, so even if I went through, it would only be like waist deep or something. So, like I say, not terrible. Good so far. Should just only get better as I go further out. So I think I'm willing to bring the auger with me and go a little further out. Let's see. Let's leave this here. Anything extra that I don't want to lose, I'll leave it here. And try not to cut myself on the end of that if I do. Cool. I'm officially on the ice. I just don't want to stay long because the water's starting to come up onto the ice and that weighs it down even more. Let's drill a hole right here and see. Plenty. It's all soft, but there's like still almost a foot of ice here. Let's see here. Let's bring the camera out first. Try not to fall through right at the edge. Okay, let's throw this back on. Grab my instruments of destruction and fish and camera, and try not to fall through this time. All right, like I said, the edge is the worst spot as far as where it melts. It always melts at the edge first. So that's going to be the weakest part. As you go towards the middle, it should, depending on currents and whatever else, should be better as you get out onto the ice, at least the first 15-20 feet or so. So if I want to set this down, let's fix that. Okay, turn this down a little bit. We measure how thick we got here. We're at, whew, that much ice, which is plenty because once you get past, I don't know, the top little bit, it seems to be pretty hard, like pretty solid ice underneath the soft top layer. So let's head out further and set some lines up. All right, so this area right here, you can see my head, can you? Kind of. Yeah, you can see my head. Okay, this area right here, it's kind of in the middle, and it's kind of a dry-ish spot here. Everything else you can see around is soft and wet. So I'm gonna drill my holes right here, at least one, get a line down. I've got kind of like a quick strike style rig. I got some real big bait, some mackerels that I got from the grocery store, and throw those out here. Let's drill a hole. Oops. Pick up your garbage. And let's catch some fish. As you can see, there's lots of ice. It's soft, but it's lots. There we go. I'm probably going to save some of this stuff for making a rod holder with. Probably not easy to, not hard to find slush around here. Okay. Get a rod put down here. Got a new rod case I got, nice and fancy. Okay, let's go with first rod's gonna be this one here. I don't really want to set this down, it's gonna get soaked. Oh well, I have to. So there we go. So this one, I've got a jig head and a treble hook. Basically, we're going to set the mackerel. I'm going to put the jig head in the front because it's the longer of the two leader pieces. Actually, go this way towards the head and then stick it out, push it all the way in so that the hook is sticking out on the head side. Take the other hook and do the same thing. Hook it from the head to the back, so then the hooks are facing his tail, and then drop her down the hole. It's okay that it has a bit of a lean down like that. It'll be fine. Hopefully, and we can get some big pike in here. Doesn't have a reputation for big pike in here, but I figured I'd say I'd try. So drop it all the way to the bottom. Should only be like 3 feet deep here. And lift it off about 1.5 feet, because I want this to be basically 3 feet deep. I want it halfway up the water column. So I'm gonna set the drag really loose so that if I get something it doesn't pull my rod in, it'll just pull the drag out. And now I can get the other rod set up. That mackerel smells. Hopefully it'll smell in a pike. And now this rod set up, I'll get the other one set up behind the camera over here, closer to shore, and then wait, see if we can get some. So I now have both my lines set up. I got one set up, there we go. I have one still set up here. I have one set up there. And now we just wait. We just wait. Ducks flying by. So normally what would happen is you would, on a lake, this is a pond, so it's a little bit kind of difficult to predict where pike are going to be, but typically in the springtime the pike will move up shallow to spawn and like kind of weedy areas, so kind of like your little bays, weedy bays and stuff like this. So right now is the perfect time to be out if you can, ice fish for pike, and if not, then open water for pike. Season's still open for like another week here, and then it closes for a month and a bit maybe, for basically the spawning season. They want to protect the fish as they're spawning, but this is kind of pre-spawn headed up to it. So typically you would want to find this shallow areas where they're spawning, but this pond, because it's basically even depth throughout the whole, there we go, got him, set him up on the camera. Oh yes, come on, move up a little bit, there we go. Pike on. I might have tightened the drag up a little bit, or he's just really small. I don't know how I would have got him though, because this bait is huge for such a pike like this. Come on. I'll let him tire himself out before I try and bring him up so I don't lose him at the hole. And he just took off. Oh, still got my bait too. Tiny little one. Tiny. Look at, that's the bait. That's the pike. Pull the jig out quick here. Caught him in the bottom of the face. Looks like he's been caught before. He's got a sore in the side of his mouth. Here we go. Nice little pike. Going back in. Gone. Yes. It's nice to know if these mackerel work. First time I've caught one on the mackerel. And I was on the single hook too. And the one always in the head. They always go for it head first. So let's try and put this back down there. Catch another one. Just see there. Jig head, treble hook. Let's get it back down. All the way to the bottom. And then basically you're gonna wanna pull it up that 1.5 foot if it's 3 feet, 2 feet if it's 4. You know the math, just do it yourself. And then loosen that drag off if you don't have a setup where the line can free spool out, because that's the key with these quick strike rigs. They need to be able to run with it. So as soon as they feel tension, they'll either let go or take off, and then you could either lose the fish or you could say bye to your rod. So that's why you want to, in this case, I don't have any setup to have the slack line, so I just loosen the drag off basically all the way so it's almost free spooling out of here, right? Or very close to free spooling. So that was pretty good, pretty cool. I want to catch another one. I think that last fish just wanted to be on camera, that's all. Because he was like, oh, he's filming. Quick, bite it. Just a thought. So the trend in this pond so far has been anything after like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I've got nothing. So to see that we're getting them at like 6:30 in the evening is kind of cool. And I guess it's mostly to the fact that it is late in the season, so they'll be feeding more pre-spawn. So kind of cool. And it's a good thing that I got my bait back, because I only brought 2 baits with me. No other lures, nothing, just the 2 mackerel. That was it, because I'm only out here for like an hour. So I'm really hoping I can get more than 2 fish with just 2 baits. And so far, it's looking like I can. Those 2 ducks that I said were flying around earlier, they came back. Looks like they're looking for a home. 2 wood ducks, kind of cool. Flying by. You know what I really should have brought with me was some bells to put on these. They were there in my trunk. I just didn't bring them. Too bad. I guess I'll just have to sit here and watch them. So I just want to touch on something here. Whenever you're clearing lanes for fishing on a pond, it is nice to throw the brush that you do. It's best to do it in the winter, because then you can throw the brush out on the pond like this is, because fish eat smaller fish, bait, and bait uses that for cover. So the more of this there is, the more cover there is for the bait, and then the more big fish you can have to eat the little fish. The more bait there is, the bigger the fish grow, the more fish you can get. So whenever you're making lanes on your pond like this and it's brush, it's nice to throw that kind of stuff on the ice or out in the pond so that you can have either what would you call artificial structure, but it's not really artificial because it's natural, but it's artificial because you put it there instead of it naturally being there. So kind of a good idea, eh? Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Time for din. I just saw this rod moving. There's got to be something down there on it. I don't know if he left or not because it's not moving anymore, but it was just moving. I was trying to take a hyperlapse of the clouds up there and just saw it moving. Guaranteed it was moving. I don't want to scare him if he's there. I don't think anything's on it. Maybe he was just nosing it or nibbling it. Sometimes they'll just bump it with their nose because it's such a heavy bait. That could be what was going on. Come on. Wonder if I dropped it to the bottom. That might just scare him away. Oh, there we go. There he goes. He's pulling line. He's pulling line. So if I let it loose here, if I let it loose, get the snow off of it, and he stopped pulling line. Is he still gonna go with it? You want to wait till they're swimming away before you set the hook, so then it pulls backwards on their mouth. If they're facing towards the hole, you just pull it right out of their mouth. You know, he might have dropped it. I think he dropped it. I'm gonna tighten up the drag and give her a yank and see. No, it was on bottom. I just pulled it off. Ah! Arg. Maybe I'll bring that other bait and stick it in this hole, because I could probably look down there and see it. Ah, he stole it. He left. Knew I should have brought more bait. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Going for bait 2 in the same hole. I figured since the fish is here, may as well use that bait in this hole and see if I can get him with this one. That's the bottom. I'm gonna tighten up the drag till I can deal with it. Lift it up. It's probably almost perfect if I set this rod in snow. There we go. And then loosen the drag off so he can pull it away if he wants. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's maybe a little too low in the water column. So I'll bring it up just a little bit. Yeah, it's perfect. A little bit out. Loosen the drag right off. Oops, wrong way. He would have taken the rod with him. Basically, as loose as it'll go. And then hopefully he'll come back, because I only got one bait left. That's unfortunate. I should have brought more bait, or at least a fake lure. I'd throw a fake lure down there and maybe catch something. I knew I shouldn't have set the hook on that, on nothing. But hopefully whatever's nibbling at that will come back. That's what I'm hoping for. Don't set the hook on nothing, boys. You'll get nothing. There we go. Well, before it gets too late here and too dark, I figured I would wish you all a great ice fishing season to come, meaning the 2022-2023 ice fishing season, because that's when this is going to be coming out, just at the start of that. And if I catch anything else here, I'm sure you've already seen it. So thanks for watching The Life of an Outdoorsman. Have a great ice fishing season, and hope to see you out there. Who knows where I'm going to be in like 8-9 months from now when the ice fishing season starts again. It's kind of a bummer that it's that long till the next ice fishing season, but for you it's going to be weeks, days, maybe it's already started, but who knows. Hope to see you out on the ice maybe, and catch you next time. Check out the moon. I'm hearing some woodcocks. Meat.